DJ?
Hey.
Hello?
Hello?
You ready?
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna go live. Rosie's asked if we do a minute of silence. Are you both alright with that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, just give us a second, lads.
He's fixed his webcam.
It's gonna be Christmas DJ when you fix it.
It's on his scene now.
Yeah.
It's just gotta make I've just gotta make it the same size as you now.
And joining them, the Lopez family, who made the short walk from their front door to the front of the line.
So please Lord for our family to come here to see this is the last day of the Queens.
When we knew the Queen was going down the A4, we were really, really happy. So we come here about 2 hours ago and been waiting.
I think she served the country for so many years, and I think she was a great person. She helped a lot of people.
She done a lot for our country, and it's important we all get to see her pass.
And then, the moment.
I can hear DJ's telly in the background as well. Do you know what? I'm gonna start it. Fuck it. Let's go.
The Queen has allowed other people to come here.
I'll just mute DJ for a second while he's away. Hello and welcome to another Monday Night Football with myself, Anthony Mackham. You've got Jacob here, Jacob Aviard, and DJ Earth, SAFC, World of Crazy Footballs. He's changed his name a couple of times. He's just stepped away. But before we get into the football, we thought we'd do a minute's silence just to commemorate Queen Elizabeth and her funeral today. So I'll start that at 35 minutes past, and we'll see that through. So, yeah. There you go. We'll start it.
Just tell us a little bit
No.
about what you did that attracted that honour.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, we really wanted to help those that were firstly unable to leave their homes to get food, those who were unable to go and get prescriptions from the pharmacies.
I sought my daughter out. Hello. Sausage jockeys. Ground control to Major Tom. Ground beef whiskers to Major Tom.
There we go. 1 minute silence, done and dusted. I knew DJ would return halfway through it. Let's just see him talking, going, "Hello, welcome. I'm back. Just the time, but the tidings just comedic. Thank you for observing that. Appreciate everybody who stuck along. You can always go through it later on. But yes, we are on to this is our 6th Monday Night Football. Well, technically it's our 7th, but we did one with the Middlesbrough game as a watch along as well. So, do you want to say hello, guys? Welcome to the stream.
How do I get you to show up on my channel again? What do I need to do?
You need to add a window capture. So whilst we're doing that, DJ, whilst DJ is sorting out his OBS and getting his stream set up. Oh, please don't do that. No, what are you doing? Crop it. There you go. He's doing the cropping. Let me just make that invisible while he's doing the technical stuff. Jacob, what do you reckon of the Sunderland-Watford result? Obviously, we're levelled late on, very, very late on. 87th minute in, Bennett getting his first goal for the lads. What do you reckon?
Good game. I mean, we should have had a penalty at one point, and I think the ref screwed both teams really. I think, but it was just if we'd have lost, it wouldn't. I don't think I'd have been angry or making a rant. I'd have been disappointed, but I'd have gone. It's Watford. They're a good team, and they've still got Premier League players. But it was good that we put up a fight even when we were losing.
Yeah. I think the moment that turned the tide in how that game was going to pan out was that second goal. Not like our first, the second goal of the game just before half time. If we didn't snatch and level it just before half time, that could have been a Watford dominant display throughout, in my humble opinion.
So Harry the Football King says hello, by the way.
Hi, Apple. Jewison Bennett is how I pronounce it. I don't know if that's a correct way of pronouncing his name, but he got a absolutely cracker late equaliser. And like Rosie says a couple of seconds ago, it was unlucky towards the end of the game. We deserved to win that. Based on the whole 90, I think a point
So Harry the
is
Football King says
fair.
hello, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It was one of those games where we weren't the favourites. If we were getting something out of it, it would have been a bonus, and we did. So I'm kind of happy. DJ, what about you? I'll see you moving yourself around.
Yeah, I was getting it. Yeah, I'm happy with the result in that.
Yeah. What do you reckon of the game overall?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good spirited performance by the lads to come back from, twice being behind. I thought it was just really, really just a good spirited performance, and then the way we came into it the last 20 minutes, I thought we were the better side. Well, the last 25 minutes, we just showed we stopped showing them respect, and we started playing our own game, and we started bossing them, and it felt like a win rather than a draw at full time. I think good things to come.
Yeah. Evening, boys in blue. There's also a good point from that game. If we lost it, we would have been dropped down into 9th. Do you think 5th place at the end of the game is fair for where our season's at the minute?
I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, this obviously is still a long way to go yet, but we've still got our new signings to gel yet. We've still got Ross Stewart to come back, but who knows, because the sky's the limit. We just don't know. It's looking promising anyway.
It's for me. It's a weird one because I don't think we're top 5 best teams in this league. I just think the way we fight and come back for some of these games, it's proving the more successful method. Like when we beat Reading, we were very comfortable, and Reading is still above us, by the way. Reading are in 3rd now. So if Reading's our direct competitor, I can see us actually hovering around there for a long time. We just got to keep this momentum up. But there is one major issue with us keeping up this momentum. As you're both aware, we are very, very downtrodden on the options up front. We are reliant on our midfield getting goals at the minute. With Stewart out, Sims looking like he might be coming back for the next game, Embleton not really delivering that threat. It was all coming from our midfield. What are you guys' perceptions on our attacking options?
I think on the stream, I'm not sure if it was you or DJ that said maybe one of the new signings could be at top. Maybe is it Ba that could be at top as a striking option, and maybe Bennett. I don't know.
Bennett's more of a winger though, isn't he? He's not going to be an out-and-out striker. He's proven with that goal on the weekend that he is able to put the ball in the back of the net. But I don't think we can become reliant on it. What do you reckon, DJ?
Yeah, I do. I think we've got. What I like about it is the fact it's not just our strikers. I think we have got goals from the centre and the wings as well, as Clark and Roberts has both shown. So as long as we've got possession and as long as we've got the ball up our end, the opposition's end, then we've got every chance because we've got skill, not just from strikers, of putting the ball in the back of the net. So I think we're going to be all right.
Yeah, I'm just going to loop in the chat as well. Rosie says, I was reading today that Sims and Serkin could be back for the Preston North End game. So yeah, it does look like we are getting more options and injuries back from their breaks. But Mike brings in a really good point. What's weird about the signings is it looks like we're going for midfielders and not strikers. Is that a concern from the director of football? We're looking for more options in the middle of the park rather than up top.
Could be.
'Cause I think it could make us stronger in like the middle. Like I think we need to focus not just on strikers, but just in the middle as well. I think that might be a bit of a Sunderland problem as well in the middle as well, in midfield.
Yeah.
Let's give a shout from Kenneth Allen. He says, hello lads from Dominican Republic. What's left after Hurricane Fiona? And Jimmy says, evening all.
Even both. Didn't realise there was a hurricane in the Dominican Republic at the minute.
I think it's a typhoon, isn't it? That typhoon. I think it's...
Paul in the chat also says, I think we could be higher at the moment due to the points we gave away and just missed out. Norwich, QPR, Sheffield United. We didn't deserve to miss out on points in those games, but we didn't deserve anything at the Borough game. So the Borough game, I have the polar opposite opinion on you with that one, Heron. I think our Norwich game, QPR game, and Sheffield United game, they were the better teams, and they proved it on the day. Well, QPR less so, but Norwich didn't look like losing to us at any point. Neither did Sheffield United. We were lucky to get anything from that in terms of the goal. But Borough, I think if we just like picked our heads up like we did in most of our other games, we could have gotten something from that. What do you reckon to our points dropped? Because we have dropped a lot of points already. We've got 50% of the points available at this stage, 15 out of 30.
Yeah, as you said, I think it is fine lines, isn't it? We have been pretty much, unlucky. Like say, we didn't get that sent off from Sheffield United. I thought, Sunderland definitely deserved something from that. If we could put our chances away against Norwich City, then I think we could have got something from that as well. So it's very, very fine lines and fine margins. Very frustrating, as you said, against like playing QPR when we really should have won that, obvious reasons. And Coventry City was sat back, and we haven't been disgraced, but we have dropped points, but it's not the end of the world. It's not as if we've been terrible. And if we tighten up that way, and if Tony Mowbray gets us playing like possession football and getting up the pitch, then we could start turning these draws into a win.
That's the ideal, right? What
Dave,
are you thinking?
I don't think it's too concerning. To be fair, I mean, yeah, it's disappointing with dropped points, but I don't think it's like, we should be worried about our relegation because of that. I think we'll be fine, but it's just a bit of a shame that some games where we've dropped points and that, especially at QPR one.
Dave McMahon, welcome to the chat, mate. Says the international break has come at the right time for our injuries. The future is very bright when you consider who we have to come back in, an already exciting team. HDL and RIP with Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah. Do you think this 2-week break is coming? I think this 2-week break is coming at the wrong time because we are in a momentum stage right now. We're not like, I don't know. We're not looking uncomfortable. We're looking like we can beat teams on most of the days. So I agree with that and disagree with it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, our new players. I mean, we could do with, as you say, carrying on without the break because the fact like Jones and Bennett came in, just giving our new lads more playing time to gel, and just as you say, something possibly could be starting to happen. I mean, Juice and Bennett's probably frustrated. He gets his first goal, and there's like a 2-week break. It's like he's supercharged. He wants to keep on going.
The way I'm equating it to it, do you know when you go to like a panto or a play or something like that, and you're just halfway through, and you're like, I'm really into the story now, and they go, all right, okay, we've got to have a break. You're 15 minutes later, and you're like, I can't be asked to continue anymore. Like, I just want to go home now because you've made me have a break. I know like people on stage need to do stuff, but like that gap, it drops a lot of people's form.
Yeah. It's like you go out on the piss, and if you go home for a break, that's it. You're asleep. You're not come back out again. But if you stay out while you're enjoying yourself, it's I can see it. I can see it from both sides. Got some Matthew Patton says, honestly, lads, I think we're doing fantastic in this league with what we have got. And Kenneth Allen says, I think Borough game, he took Pritchard and Roberts a little bit too soon. I think they were just coming into the game. And Jimmy says, we're doing okay without our strikers. When Sims went off, we crashed their game plan and hammered Redden. But against Watford, we need our strikers back ASAP.
See, I get that. But the striker coming off, with Sims coming off, that does change up the game plan. It does change up like who you got to mark and stuff like that. But the same thing happened with the Bury game. We lost a striker in that game, and nothing happened. I know it was before the game, so maybe there was a little bit of like the players not having to like work things out mid-match. But that kind of losing somebody up front early doors, it's worked for us one game and it hasn't the other. Is it those fine margins again? Is it just, I don't know, like is it just like Reading and Watford were just not on Middlesbrough's level, which sounds really weird because Middlesbrough are 22nd.
Middlesbrough, for some strange reason, they just seem to really up the ante against us, and they've done that for a lot of games. I think with Middlesbrough, it's a lot of mental strength goes on, and for some strange reason, I mean, like Sunderland just mentally don't seem prepared when they play down there. Middlesbrough just seemed up for it. They've just raised the game against us, and because I did see leaks in their defence, I don't think they're as good as a side of what I thought they would be. I mean, if Pritchard had scored, it would have been a different ball game altogether. They are power at the back. I think a lot of psychological things. Harry the Football King says Jewison Bennett is fast as fuck, by the way.
Yeah, he has actually been called. Rosie's confirmed he's been called up for Costa Rica, the national team. Putting them on show for these international breaks. So we do need this international break for those international call-ups. We actually have international players now, which is nice. And he's likely to get first team football in that as well.
His goal was very similar to Jermaine Defoe's against Chelsea when we won 3-2. The way, what I liked about Jewison Bennett was the fact how quick he just chest bang. If you remember when that ball was crossed when it was 2-2 against Chelsea, Jermaine Defoe, it just allowed that bounce, hit it, and the quickness was superb, and giving the keeper anything time to react. Hopefully he's going to be a good lad in the making.
Like you just said, mate, he is this future talent, and I think we've snatched him up, we've scouted him. It's 100% a talent for the future. If we develop him right, he'll come bear fruits for us.
It's the chemicals from ICI, says Kenneth Allen, regarding to why we never win at Middlesbrough. There we go.
It's the chemical plants. Les Thomas Mackham pops in and says he doesn't think that Sims will help with our current style. Stu would fit in perfectly with how we play, though. So, are we still playing in a style that is the Alex Neil style, or are we actually fully embedded into the Tony Mowbray way of things now? I'll let Jacob go in on that one first.
I think there is still that Alex Neil stuff in that team, to be honest, but I think it's slowly getting into Tony Mowbray's style.
Which is what though, mate? What is Tony Mowbray's style?
No. But I think I'd say he's quite. I think he focuses on more like, would you say like midfield style? He's not really. He doesn't seem too attacking, does he? Like Alex Neil, but he's not too defensive. I think he's quite
balanced.
Balanced, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What do you reckon, DJ?
Yeah, I think there's still a bit of a cocktail. There's a bit of a a mixture from still both there. I mean, he's bound to be in it because he's not really been long in the job. I think obviously defensively we're still not too bad, but what I'm liking about the Tony Mowbray creeping in is the fact how we seem to be well, just take the last game for example, when we played possession football, kept out of the ball and we kept attacking, and he brought on 2 positive substitutes. With Alex Neil, he did have a habit, didn't he, of sitting back and let's just be really really cautious. So yeah, I think we're starting to turn over a new page. And if that's the way Tony Mowbray is wanting to get us set up, then I think it'll suit the lads really, really well, and the fans, because the fans want to be entertained and all.
Yeah, I think we are starting to move towards a style where it's like this one-touch football. It's this let's cut out, let's chase down their defenders if they've got the ball. Let's not let them rest on their laurels. We want the ball because we can't score if we haven't got the ball, right? So. I think it, like, formation-wise, I'm seeing pretty much the exact same formation, apart from like the top 3 now shuffling around since the Alex Neil days.
Well, I mean, I didn't feel uncomfortable for the last 25 minutes. When it was 2-2, I did not feel uncomfortable at all. I felt like, we better hang on to this 2-2 draw. If anything else, I was getting the feeling that we could nick it and get 3 points. And that's how confident the way Sunderland were playing. I certainly weren't worried about Watford scoring because we couldn't get the ball off us, really.
Yeah. So I want to link it back to what the chat's asked here. So Richard Freer says this league is wide open this year. That said, mid-table will be a great finish after our last season in the Championship. Do you think there's still omens or like murmurs around the club? Like, because if you remember when we went down with 7 wins and like 16 draws. Do you think there's going to be a collapse, or do you think there's going to be more of a? Do you think we're going to continue this momentum, picking up more wins than we are losses, and cracking through the rest of the season, or do you think it is just going to be like a freakish first 2 months and then settle back into the Sunderland drama ways, the roller coaster that is our club?
Do you want to answer that, Jacob, lad?
Yeah, I definitely don't think we'll go down, and I don't think there'll be any omens of us losing. Like, we will lose, but I don't think it'll be like how we were in Championship. I think it maybe have a roller coaster season, but we'll have more goods than bad. I think I can see us finishing mid-table.
Perfect. That's the ideal, isn't it? As long as we finish above was it 21st in this league, or was it 22nd? 22nd.
10th. I'm still standing by that.
Yeah. What do you reckon, DJ? Then?
Any
omens still at the club?
You what, mate?
Is there any omens still at the club about our last Championship season, or we just?
Oh God, no! We're a completely different side. Luckily, we've still got that. We still seem to have that team spirit, which we are lucky, because usually if you got the team spirit and the manager goes, then their heads seem to drop and it goes all over the place. But we're a completely different side. I mean, we've got the hunger, our body language. I do think we're definitely top 6 in the making, and why wouldn't we be? Carrying the way we're going, we can't be afraid of anyone in this league. But we're a completely different outfit.
I'm gonna link it back to that last Championship season. You said the squad has a team feel to it now. Do you think that man just above my head on your stream, Lyndon Gooch, has a lot to play in that? Because he's been there, done that in the Championship. He's seen us being a deflated team of people who don't want to play for the badge, don't want to play for the shirt. He seems to have stuck around, and I don't know. You can see how much that goal meant to him.
Well, yeah, you just
look at that celebration. He's loving that moment.
I mean, look, we've all known that Gooch has had potential in his hunger for the game and that, and I just think because he's getting a better squad of players around him, it's bringing the best out of Lyndon Gooch as well, because he's having a great season so far, and his confidence has just grown and grown.
Well, to be fair, I think since the COVID break, I think he's come on leaps and bounds as that squad player, not the individual that he was trying to be back when we were in the Prem, back when we were in the Championship last time round. I think he's become that. He's the go-to man. Is he wearing the captain's armband there?
I think he is, as well as the yes, he is. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's becoming that team leader. I don't know if it should be him or Luke or Nine, but having more players that want to play for the team rather than themselves, I think is going to be better for us longer term.
Kenneth Allen says, I think we might get the playoffs. And regarding back to Middlesbrough, Jimmy says, would we have had the same points with Alex Neil? We will never know. Might have beat the Smogs, but not sure about the rest. So,
I genuinely think we might have lost against Reading and Watford because they were above us at the time. So, yeah. Right, Telly says, relying on one player to get fit is not a good idea. We need to be more flexible and adaptable. So, yeah, that's a really good point. Relying on Stuart for our creative goals up front is that too much of a burden for him? Because if you remember, towards the mid to late point of last season, he had a drought. He
went a few games, didn't he, without scoring?
Yeah, I think he went like a month without scoring, and we still got wins. We still got a couple of draws in there, but are we heavily relying on one system, one player?
I think the fans are relying more than the actual team, because I mean, even myself, we were panicking, thinking, "Oh, Stuart, without Stuart, but look what we've done without him." So I think it's us fans are thinking we're panicking. Oh, we need Stuart, because you just want you going on social media and stuff, but there's evidence on the pitch, definitely not.
Yeah, like we said, all of the. We can't, as fans, we obviously want the best out from our players. We can't force that on any individual day. Mistakes will be made, and I think our fans, especially on Twitter, might be a little bit brutal. And
is there a risk that Stuart could upset the apple cart if we're really, really doing well and we're getting, we've got something gelling up front without Stuart? Could there be a chance that he might not get back in if we're doing superbly well without him?
Then we run the risk of having no striker for the second half of the season. So my personal perception of that is he will come back as soon as he's fit again. As soon as he's fit, he'll be back in the main fold. It means people like Embleton or Pritchard might miss out, but yeah, we need that talisman up front.
So the more points we can get, which we're doing so far at the minute, is a huge bonus, really.
Oh, absolutely, mate, absolutely. But if you remember, like before the transfer window closed, there was rumours of him going up to the Scottish Premier League, and I don't think that's out of his skill level. We need to have a direct replacement for him if we're not putting him in the first 11 when he's fit and well. That's my perception. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, I agree. You can't just rely on one player. You've got to have like more than one that you can be confident with, and not just rely on one player. 'Cause I think it was like that in our first season of League One with Mazia. I think, to be fair, a lot of them on Mazia. And I think John McLaughlin as well in goal. We just relied on them two players mainly.
And Wickham as well the season before that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It comes in waves. Mike, welcome from us again. To be fair, these late one players have really stepped up to the plate in this league, and they deserve to go personally. Deserve a fair go personally. I think we're doing all right. So if I reread that with my dyslexic brain, essentially Mike's saying the players that are performing deserve to be in the first 11, and whilst they are performing, whilst they are getting results, we should be able to comfortably say to the players that are not in the first 11, that are not coming on and delivering, you can stay on the bench until something changes. That's a manager's thing to deal with, right? Not.
I think Ellis Sims might struggle to get back in if we continue to do the way we are. If there's any player, I think he'll be the one that will struggle.
Sims.
Yeah.
But he's a loanee as well, and like you said.
Yeah, I know.
we might miss out on if Stewart goes out or he gets sold in January. We're relying on this person that we're potentially pissing off. I also have a slight fear with Sims that he becomes the next Josie Altidore for Sunderland.
Kenneth Allen says, when injuries come along, sometimes player that comes, sometimes they step up big style. And Jimmy's said, I think we can go in the playoffs this season, but what Sunderland fan doesn't hope it's back-to-back promotions. We're good in this league. I don't think we have anything to worry about at all.
Yeah. So on that one, Jimmy, I think you're absolutely 100% accurate, because if you look at our goalkeeper situation last season, we had Hoffman as our number one for about 20 games. He got injured in a training session and basically didn't want to play the next game. So we put Patterson in goal, and he kept a clean sheet, and he kept his place ever since, because that clean sheet was, he made some really good fucking saves and proved he could do it. Then obviously the Lee Johnson thing happened, the Alex Neil coming in not really liking Hoffman, then Hoffman saying basically, yeah. So yeah, it happens all the time. It's people managing people here. If we're just playing football on a what do you call it? On a piece of paper, on a computer game, you can fuck around with people's positioning and flow, but some players don't gel with other players. It might be as simple as that. And
yeah, it could be the case of like somebody just doesn't like someone, or somebody gets on your nerves. You know, it's
that's what I think is happening with Sims at the minute, because he only has performed really good so far when he's had Stewart next to him. As soon as Stewart was out the fold, or somebody else was in replacement of Stewart, he has dropped off the face of the earth.
It's like a fish out of water, absolutely.
So I think Sims is heavily reliant on the people around him and him liking them. And this comment is perfect from Telly. No player is bigger than Sunderland.
Absolutely not. We've had a few that think they are as well.
Oh, that's a good one. Paul says, you have a point with the Hoffman situation last season. I would also include Callum Doyle in that. Callum Doyle's a funny one. He's long gone now. Where did he go to? I'm going to Google where he went.
He used to play for Man City before us, didn't he? Wasn't he in like at Man City?
Coventry. He's went to Coventry on loan. Oh, that's a tricky one. So technically, he was never a Sunderland player. He's still a Man City player on loan.
Yeah, because we got him on loan from City last summer of last season.
Good point. Personality clashes. So do you think that Tony Mowbray versus Alex Neil will have more or less clashes with his current team? Because they've given him the nickname the Grandad, right?
Grandad.
The Grandad. Whereas Alex Neil, I think, was trying to be more like, I could do your job. This is how I would do your job.
Well, Jimmy's just said no manager is bigger than the club either.
Oh, true. They went out.
Sorry, mate. Go for it.
The club still. When we say the manager's isn't as big as the club, like the club is bigger, it's true, because when Mowbray's gone, Sunderland's still going to be here. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When Peter Reid, still Sunderland's here. You know?
To be fair, I miss Peter Reid era. It was probably the best era to learn about Sunderland on, because since then it's been a bit rocky after that. But
he wouldn't take any shit, Peter Reid, would he? He wouldn't take any shit.
Yeah, this comment's just made me giggle, and I read it as innuendo. So I read Patterson can't command his box though. As
He's still really young, isn't he, Patterson?
He's only 22, isn't he, or something like that?
Harry the Football King says, I think honestly, Alessi, the past two games will start over Sirkin.
Really?
A lot of people on social media have really been praising Alessi, how well he's done the last few, especially against Reading.
Oh yeah. He performs shit against Borough though. That's the fate. Like he doesn't like. I think unless he doesn't like a back three, he's not used to playing as a left wing back and a centre back at the same time. But like you said, last 2 games he's been pretty decent.
And West Ham fans, they were upset to see him go, weren't they? Saw a lot of them on social media not very happy when he went to us. I think
would you be happy though if you get rid of a promising talent when you've got gaps in that area as well?
I'd be peed off. I think
Unless he's not on loan, is he?
No, we purchased him.
I thought we purchased him. Yeah.
We've done it before. Someone got rid of promising players. We've done it.
Yeah, we purchased him. So West Ham loaned him out twice though. They loaned him to Stanley. He had 10 games there, and then they loaned him to Cambridge, and he had 2 games there. So he was never getting game time for them. He was just on the bench warming it up. So. To be fair, you're expecting quite a lot from a youth player if you're doing that. He played once for West Ham, and that was in the EFL, in the cup. That was it. I only played a friendly.
He seems to like the club with Alessi. I think he does like it.
I think that there's a lot to be said about our current players and how they're going to gel over the next 3-4 months. Alessi. I'm not going to repeat what Pennywell Pundit says because I don't know how you know that.
I've just seen that, yeah.
It's hard to drop Alessi after the last 2 games. It's a strange situation we've got now as well because we do have 2 weeks of football or lack of Sunderland football, but we've got them international ones. Do we know how many players of ours are actually going out for international duty? I know it's literally the only one I know is Bennett. I don't think Mitchell will go with the French team. I don't think any of our English players will go to the England national team.
It is the Nations League, isn't it? I am right in saying that. That's what we're not playing for.
Yeah, it's and international friendlies. I don't think we can win the Nations League. Oh, yeah, that's a good point as well with Pennywell. I know Pennywell doesn't like Jacko at all, but that miss, he could have levelled it 2-2 at about the 80-minute mark, and
Then Bennett could have got the winner, couldn't he? That would have been the one.
And then Bennett would have got the winner, yeah. Would you get which diamond though? Because we've had 2. There's Jack and I don't know. There's only one. Would we get Diamond back? Not really.
How old is he, Jack Diamond again?
Jack Diamond's like 24.
Yeah.
Born 2000, so he's 22 years old.
I don't know. There's just something about him that he just doesn't cut it for me. I can't put my finger on what it is.
He got the hat trick. He got the hat trick he got the hat trick on the weekend, but we loaned him out for a reason.
Yeah.
I think the Championship is a little bit of a step above of where he's at. We wouldn't be loaning him out if we thought he was first team ready. And we've also got 5 new players that we've purchased or loaned that can do his job as well. So I think Jack Diamond, although he is a Sunderland lad through and through, I think
Championship's a bit too much to ask for him.
Unless he does a Rocky Balboa in the football career and just all of a sudden leaps above where he's at, I don't think we'll be keeping him.
No, I don't think. I think he'll be away.
You can see Lincoln buying him. You can see Lincoln buying him next season permanently.
Bring back Double Diamond. Shine bright like a diamond.
Diamond white, more like it.
Funny. Oh, that's funny. Right. I think naturally we've talked quite a bit about this, the last weekend set of games and the season so far quite a bit, right? Shall we move on to our next topic?
Oh yes.
Is should we do fixtures or predictions? Because our fixtures we'll do predictions first, I think. So, predictions for the upcoming week. I say the upcoming week. The next fixtures are a week on Monday. So a week on. Fuck me. The 1st of October. Saturday the 1st of October. But there is the Hull Luton game before that on the last day of September. So should we go through them and see what we're thinking? So game 1, Hull versus Luton. What have you gone for, Jacob? Because I know you've got your list down.
Yeah, I'm going for a 3-1 Luton win.
3-1 Luton?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think Hull are that leaky at the back then?
Yeah, I think they're not doing too great, which is a bit of a surprise because they're normally quite a fairly decent side. But I think they'll lose to Luton, but then maybe after that they might start bouncing up. I think they'll start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Getting results.
DJ?
2-0 Luton.
2-0 Luton. So none of you are backing Hull on this one.
No. Good little side, Luton.
See,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the table. I know Luton are a good side. They were challenging for promotion last season, and they're continuing that run of form. But I think Hull, I don't know. They've just had some embarrassing performances over the last couple of weeks, and this international break is a perfect time for them to reset. So I'm going to say, like, because they're at home, they'll expect to try and win it. I'm going to go just a bog standard 2-1 on that one. Then the Saturday games, there's 10 of these. Game 2 is Blackburn Rovers against Millwall. I don't know, Blackburn either win or lose. It's one way or the other. There's no halfway house between them. Millwall, though, are quite a good team, especially away from home. They usually put in a solid defensive performance. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think it's too tight to call.
Yeah, I was going to go for 1-1 as well.
Perfect. Jacob, what have you gone for?
2-1 Blackburn.
Home team just edging it out there.
Yeah.
Perfect. Next up, game 3, Blackpool versus Norwich City.
3-1 Norwich.
Oh, okay. So you've gone for another 3-1 away win.
Yeah, to Norwich.
To be fair, that makes sense. Norwich are pretty much flying at the
Yeah.
minute.
I think they'll go up.
Sorry?
I think they're going to go up, Norwich. They're just a good side. Got results in, haven't they?
They do. They definitely do. DJ, what you were saying? Blackpool, Norwich.
Blackpool will score first, and then Norwich, I think, will come and win 4-1.
4-1?
Kenneth's
Wow.
just said on my chat, can everyone hear Anthork here? Because he can't.
I can.
Well, I can hear you alright, I don't know.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can they hear Jacob as well?
Um,
It might be your inputs if you haven't added the Discord.
no, everything's fine.
Is it moving when I'm talking?
Yeah.
Speak again, Anth.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, it's bouncing up and down.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's bouncing up and down. So, awesome. Yeah, so it might just be volume level. Yeah, so the Blackpool Norwich game for me, I'm going to say Norwich are edging it as well. I think all of us are going to go for it, but I think they're going to keep a clean sheet. So I'm going to say 2-0 Norwich. It's good.
No, everything's
It's one of those ones where they'll either smash them or pass them. Game 4, Bristol City against QPR. For me, I think Bristol games are very entertaining. They're end to end, but they always just edge out. Or not always, but most of the time they just edge out last minute. So I'm going to say it's going to be quite cagey, but I'm going to go for a 2-3 QPR win. DJ?
I'm going to go for 2-1 Bristol.
2-1 Bristol. And Jacob?
3-2 Bristol.
3-2 Bristol. Oh, the polar opposite way around from me. Perfect. Right, game 5 is Cardiff versus Burnley. DJ, do you want to go first?
Cardiff versus Burnley. Burnley are having a funny season so far, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go. This is a tricky one to call. I'm gonna go 2-1 Cardiff.
Home win. Okay. Another 2-1. Cool. Jacob?
2-0 Burnley.
Ooh. So you think Burnley are going to travel very, very well?
A long journey that. Burnley to Cardiff.
It's a nice little journey down the M6 and then the M5. It's not too bad. I don't know. For me, I want to say it's going to be that very cagey stalemate. I'm going to say that's my 0-0 of the weekend. I don't know. I just can't edge either way between them. So yeah, game 6, Coventry versus Middlesbrough. These two teams are struggling at the minute, aren't they? Coventry, because their home pitch stuff wasn't sorted out. They're playing catch up with the rest of the league now. They haven't won a single game yet. Borough will see this as the perfect opportunity to climb out of that bottom three. So I'm going to see a 3-0 away win. Jacob, what have you gone for?
I think another 3-1 win for Borough.
I'm gonna go 3-0 Coventry.
Oh, you think Coventry are going to get off the winning mark with this one?
Yeah, I can't understand how they're where they are. They're a very strong physical outfit.
Definitely.
Kenneth Allen's on the chat says maybe it's because he's not in the UK, can't he? Yeah, but he's gone for a better win, by the way.
Oh, okay. I'll have a look through your chat history, mate, at the end of it, and pop all these on the prediction table. We have game 7, Reading versus Huddersfield. DJ, do you want to go first?
Reading versus Huddersfield. Oh, this is. Yeah, I reckon it's a bank home win, this one. So I'm going to go for 3-0 Reading.
3-0 Reading. Jacob.
3-0 Reading, same as DJ.
Oi, I'll do you for copyright.
How dare you have the same opinion as me? Yeah, mate. Like you both said, it's going to be a home win because Reading are just a class above Huddersfield at the minute. Huddersfield's struggling, still in that mix towards the bottom of the table. Yeah, I'm going to say 2-0, not 3-0, 2-0. Game 8, Rotherham versus Wigan. Jacob?
1-1.
Ooh. Okay. DJ?
Yeah, 1-1.
Copyright. Oh,
1-1. That's got 1-1 written all over it. I think that.
Rotherham Wigan. Now, see, I don't think it does because I know both of these teams are like, nearly promoted and stuff, but if you look at how they played against each other last season, I think Rotherham should be winning it. I'm going to say 2-1 home win. Do think both teams are going to score though. Oh, game 9, Sheffield United against Birmingham. Birmingham. What do I? It's got to be the league leaders winning this one, really, hasn't it? I'm going to say 5-1. Fuck it. Jacob?
3-1 Sheffield United.
DJ?
4-0 Sheffield United.
4-0. Nobody can see Birmingham.
It's a Brom ting. It's a Brom ting.
Oh, the one we're all really, really interested in. Game 10, Sheffield. No. Game 10, Sunderland versus Preston North End. At the stadium, I like bear in mind. DJ, I'll let you go first.
I'm going to go for Sunderland 3, Preston North End 0.
That'd be nice. You do like a 3-0, don't you?
I do.
Jacob?
2-0 Sunderland.
2-0.
They don't concede a lot, Preston, but they don't seem to score many goals, so...
Yeah.
It's more realistic.
Sorry?
It's more realistic us winning 2-0, I think, or like a 2-1. It's just... They don't concede a lot, Preston.
I've said this literally every game since game 5. They barely score in their matches, but they rarely concede as well. I think if anything, it's a 1-0 game.
Kenneth Allen says 6-0.
6-0.
You're on the shrooms, Kenneth. I think, mate.
I'm just going to go on the shrooms. I'm just going to go 1-0. Sunderland 1-0. I don't think we're going to humble them for free. I think we're just going to score a goal and edge it. Yeah. The final game of the Saturday is West Brom versus Swansea. Another cagey affair for this one, I think. West Brom seem to be kicking on a bit. Swansea, they're kind of like Borough this season. So I'm going to say a 3-2 home win.
I'm going to go for 2-2.
Nice Bally address there. You go, Jacob.
Same as DJ, 2-2.
Oi! I'm warning you.
Right, and then the last game's on the Sunday. This one's on telly. Stoke versus Watford. I know what we're all hoping for with the Alex Neil situation, but realistically, what are you going for, DJ?
Can you repeat that? I don't know what happened to my...
Versus Watford.
Versus Watford. I'm going to go for 2-0 Stoke. As much as I don't want them to, but yeah.
Yeah. Damo's saying 4-1 for Sunderland, by the way. That would be fucking nice. Jacob?
2-1 Watford.
2-1 Watford. Okay. Based on that Watford performance against us and how Stoke just dominated their last game, I'm going to say a 2-2 draw. That's my first 2-2 draw. You have already had like 4-5, but yeah. 2-2. Stokies are only 3 points behind us, are they? Can we look at the league table? Can we look at the league table? It's like directly there. Let me just turn on the league table so I can have a look. But they're down in 14th. Oh.
He's not done that great, has he, Alex Neil, for Stoke? He's not done great for them.
What is his record at Stoke?
I think he's just won one, hasn't he? Because they didn't... I think he's won one.
Yeah.
I know he lost to Reading. But can't remember for others. Stoke, he's not done great for them.
What is his
Can't
record
remember.
at I'll have a quick Google.
He's just won one, hasn't he? 'Cause
DJ, do you want to bring on the next point, which is our the social medias?
Yeah.
Come on. While I'm googling Alex Neil's record. Alex Neil, when you search Alex Neil and then leave the next word, it says estate agents. His managerial record at Stoke is 1-1, drew 1, lost 1. It's not bad.
No, he's just arrived as well, hasn't he?
It's 4 points out of 9. It's slightly less than what Sunderland are on. I don't know. I think he'll come good for them, but then we'll just get rid of him. Right. Sorry?
He'll do what he did with us. I think he could become, I don't know, he might bugger off to club in Premier League. Something like that. Don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if he's a Premier League level manager, to be honest. So, in terms of our social medias, obviously Sunderland have put out like paying respects today for marking the death of Queen Elizabeth. They're saying talking about the ticket sales. But the most interacted thing with Sunderland at the minute is Ellis Sims's tweet saying he's back soon, with him sitting on the floor and a huffy face, and he says, "Good lad." So some of them are saying, "Good lad, nice to see you come over to the fans yesterday." So I know we've talked about it a couple of times already in this stream, but do you think Sims is underperforming, or he doesn't want to perform? That's the big question.
His body language is he doesn't want to be here. So that's why I think of it.
Okay, Jacob.
I feel like I'm a bit balanced on this. It might be a bit of both. It might could be underperforming, but I have to tell in some ways because it does. Some of his body language does seem like he's a bit. Oh, don't want to be here. Like a bit like Will Grigg in a way, but I think he could just be maybe another Josie Altidore, like you said earlier.
Mm-hmm. He's got the makings of a quality player. I just don't know if he'll do it for us. A lot of these are saying, like a lot of these replies are saying, we'll need you to batter, we'll need you to stay positive, you'll have to fight to win your pace back, but it'll be worth it. Don't rush, make sure you're 100%. Like, they're actually being really respectful for once, which I kind of feel like is a nice thing to see. But it's I don't know. I think he's a little bit on the underperforming side rather than doesn't want to play side. Because if he doesn't want to play but still performs, I'm all right with that. But if he underperforms, I'm not, because he's better than what he's been marketed as. I know he can bag the goals when he wants to. He started when he started playing for us. He says he scores when he wants, right?
Yeah.
So,
Let's just see what happens. Time will tell, but we can't risk having players if they didn't want to be here, because it can be really costly. I guess we'll know when Stewart's back, whether the mighty duo are back. We'll soon find out that way.
I think them as a partnership will just be unbeatable. It's just they need to be both fit. So Sims obviously looks like he might be back for the Preston North End game, but Stewart, when's he officially supposed to be back?
I don't know. It was 6 weeks or so, wasn't it?
I don't know. Jacob, do you know?
No, I don't think so. It could be 6 weeks.
Kenneth Allens just says, I thought Jack Clark at times did not want to be at Sunderland, but he's proved us wrong. Give Sims time, so yeah.
Yeah, fair. There's a couple of players I don't think want to play for us either. Alessia was one of them at the start. Who was it last season I was calling him the fumbling clown? Was it Alessia?
No, it was Matete.
Yeah, Jay Matete. He's got skill, but every time he had the ball or tried to dribble past people, he'd fall over it like he was running on one of them giant orbs that fucking caught Wipeout or something. Dirty boy.
Yeah.
Tam says, I think Sims is too young to lead the line. Not fast enough, not mobile enough, but he doesn't know how to use his strength. He's here to try and learn. Are we a learning platform for most of these players? Or are we okay with being that stepping stone for some of these players? I'd rather not. I'd rather have players who want to.
It just doesn't do the team any good whatsoever being used as stepping stones, because how can you build good team spirit? If anything else, all that does is just upset everything. It's like you want to create a bond in the dressing room. It's never going to happen if we're going to be a stepping stone. So the sooner that stops, the better, really.
Yeah, Demo says the players that we slagged off in League One are kicking arse in the Championship, and that might be just down to the level. The Championship is more skill based than the League One, obviously.
League One, scrappy.
League One, yeah, like you just said, League One is more scrappy, right?
But do you think we would have been capable of scoring a goal like we did against Red in that third one in Division 1 I don't think it would have done, would it? It's
No,
just
because-
it's a different setup. It's a hitting slog.
No, the main reason I don't think we'll be able to do it is because their defenders are not as fast, so they'll be naturally further behind and down the pitch. So the 1-2, like the high line that Reading had, I don't think any League One team would have that at all, and not a single one. Maybe Sheffield Wednesday, but everybody else is pretty much playing like a very deep back line. Because strikers are pacey now, wingers are pacey. Sims plays like he's out of line. So as long as we keep our heads up, put our shoulders back like Apex Predators, we will win. Smash it. I like that one. Yeah. Okay. We're coming up to the hour mark on our stream. So, what is next for your channels, socials, etc., etc.? While I'm doing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be just I'll be just uploading some videos of some classic times with Sunderland and stuff, trying to avoid the odd copyright claims if I can.
I think I've sent you a link to a video earlier on.
Oh, have you? Well, on Discord.
You might. Yeah, if I haven't, I'll send it to you after. It's on that point.
All right.
But,
Okay.
Jacob, what's do you want to shout out your socials and stuff and what you're planning to do next?
Yeah, maybe for Instagram I might just put something on my story about the upcoming games, maybe for the Championship, or see what's...
See what's what.
Yeah.
So in terms of this channel, obviously we'll do the prediction video, but that will come out next week. But between now and then, we have next week's Monday Night Football and the Preston North End watch along coming up. So we have 2 live streams on the cards. In terms of videos this week, I don't have anything planned, but I might just release something ad hoc about our transfer window. So keep an eye out if I do that or not. But beyond that, I think we're doing that.
Yeah, it's been good tonight. There's been, quite a few people getting involved. So yeah, it's all good. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Of course, we do appreciate it.
It's awesome. So I'm just reading Tom's comment. We're definitely a learning platform for some of these players. That's the way the parent club will see it. For the loanees, yeah, but for the purchase players, I still think it's a stepping stone. The sooner we get Min Sun, the better. I don't know who that is. I'm talking about the Spurs player.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, cool.
Unless he's getting a Chinese later on tonight, I don't know.
Oh, fair.
Some crab
Right.
crab meat soup or something.
Final call out. We're gonna end the stream now. By the way, if you want to check out Jacob or DJ's channel, just look in the about section on this video. Quick link. Pop over the channel. Hit the subscribe button, and yeah, smash a like on this one if you did. But other than that, I'm gonna end it. Thank you very much.
See you guys.
It's been a
See
pleasure.
you again. Toodaloo.